Now you're audible.
Hello, chat. Am I audible? Let's drop a quick thumbs up in the chat. Hello.
Now you're audible.
Hello, chat. Am I audible? Nice. Just react something. Drop thumbs up or a heart, something. Nice. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural ceremony of Mentorship 5.0. So, I can see the energy in the chat section, and you guys are doing totally great. This is the energy we want for this opening ceremony of WOC 5.0. So what is Mentorship 5.0? It is one of the largest student-driven open source program in the country. Is it? We'll find out. So whether you are joining us from your hostel room, home, cafe, or secretly during your classes, we are thrilled to have you all here with us. So before we begin with the details of Winter Report 5.0, let us first discuss the statistics of this year's Winter of Code 5.0. Let's go through it. So far, we have got around 4,500 applications throughout the world, not only in India, but we have participants from across the world. And out of 4,500 applicants, we have 2,600 contributors selected, shortlisted for contributions. Apart from this, we have over 16 mentoring organizations who have took out their precious time and brought in their projects, open source projects for you all so that you all can learn and contribute on them. With, with an amazing number of 45 plus open source projects and organizing such a big event like Winter of Code alone is like not a possible thing. So to spread our word and to help us reach a great and wide diverse audience, we have got the support of 40 and more community partners helping us throughout. So folks, let's begin. So are you all with me? Chat, just a quick message or something like that. Nice. That's energy over. So for today's agenda, so that you all know what it's in there for you all today. Starting with the welcome and opening address, which you all had right now. Then the introduction and the vision of Winter Code 5.0. After that, we have some introductions to the organizations, sponsors, and community partners who are there with us during this session of this 3 month long open source program. Apart from this, we have also planned and invited some amazing speakers across the globe to share their insights and experience so that you all get to know about the importance of open source and how you can achieve a good level and become a good contributors in this. After all this ends, we will go through the detailed program structure and timeline about Winter of Code, discussing about each and every phase and clearing all your doubts regarding the proposal phase till the ending closing ceremony, also the mentor evaluations. After that, we will end up and wrap up the sessions with the official communication channels and the website walkthrough. So, after this, my teammate Avnikant will let you know what is Winter of Code. So, over to you, Avnikant.
So, hi everyone, I am Avnikan, a co-team member of GDG IIIT Kalyani. So, all right, before we get ahead, let's address one of the most important thing that you already might be thinking. When you hear winter of code, it can feel like much hacking, many code, very open source, like just wow. Some of you might be wondering what exactly is the winter of code? Who is it meant for? Is it for only for hard coders? Or can beginners also participate in this? The short answer is yes. It's about open source and coding, and no, not just for experts. By the end of this session, you will have answer to all of these questions, and your questions will be clear. Now, let's properly understand what winter of code actually is. Now that we have seen the fun side, let's actually answer the big question. What exactly is Winter of Code? Winter of Code, or WOC, is a 3-month long open source program designed to help students get a real hands-on experience by contributing to actual projects modeled after GSOC or Google Summer of Code. It gives you an opportunity to work on real projects that are actively maintained and used by real communities. So not just a college level project. During the WOC, you don't work alone. You will be collaborating with mentors and organizations who will guide you throughout the program. The focus here is not just on writing the code, but on improving your technical skills and learning how open source collaboration works and collaborating to meaningful real world projects. So whether you are new to open source or already have some experience, Winter of Code helps you learn, build, and grow in a structured way. Now, moving ahead. Now over to instruction.
So, guys, why choose Winter of Code 5.0? Why is it important and why is it different from others? Like we have seen in different open source events, many projects feels like these are some like personal projects, sort of like that, and we don't get much insight or much learning from those. So, Winter of Code bridges that gap. Here in the Winter of Code, we have real production level organizations with production level projects with the mentor guidance that you all need. So if you are just starting in open source and your developer journey, this is the exact position you will need to be. And we also keep it as a warm-up for GSOC. And why is that? Because we do have real organizations that have been an active part in the past of Google Summer of Code or are planning to be do so. So that's why you have to be the part of Winter of Code 5.0. So what's the vision behind Winter of Code that we have started it? First of all, is empowering your confidence. Like many developers hesitate, like how to start open source, how do I develop, and how to contribute to such large code bases. So that's why we are here to give you that confidence, to help you with the guidance that you actually need to understand that production level code bases, to get the guidance from the actual maintainers, maintains those code bases, to give you that very details that you need to focus on. And also, many people what they do, they get frightened by seeing all those large code bases. So we want to have them as long-term open source contributors. And lastly, we want to focus on quality over quantity. Like what everyone focuses on is like that they keeps on merging their PRs. Like we want 100 PRs, 200 PRs. No, open source is about like commitment over quantity. So even if you are doing 1 or 2 PRs, that is fine, but it should deliver something strong. Your one PR should give a strong feature to that code base or to that product. So that's why we have come up with Winter of Code to give you all that opportunity. So what do you have, Nikan? So we can start with the speakers.
So now, moving forward to in today's inauguration ceremony, we are pleased to welcome our first speaker, Santosh Yadav. He is a principal developer advocate at CodeRabbit and a Google developer expert in Angular. He is also a global tech speaker and a community leader and a GitHub star. With extensive experience in developer advocacy and open source communities, in this session, he'll be sharing his perspective on why working on open source matters and how it can shape your journey as a developer. Please join me in welcoming Santosh Yadav.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Santosh, please switch on your.
Yeah, hopefully
Yes,
you
sir,
can
you're
see me
audible.
also. Cool. Hey everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. Happy to be here. And it's very cold where I live. I'm in Germany right now. I live near Hamburg, and it's like -10. Yeah, I cannot go outside. It's all snowy and icy surface, so it's hard. But yeah, as so I'll be. Can I share a slide or maybe?
Yes, please.
Now, okay, cool. Let me do that. Share,
Stop screen sharing da. Stop screen sharing da.
share. Sorry. I mean, it's just the introduction, nothing else. Just to share my screen. Oh my goodness. Okay. Uh, I don't need to restart my machine because it's a new machine. So it says quit and reopen. Uh,
Just go ahead and try.
okay, cool. I'll.
So for the time being, hello chat. I know you have got many questions with you all, many doubts to clarify. So to clarify, we have a Q&A session planned at the end of this session, so where you can shoot all your questions and we are happy to answer all.
And yes,
I'm
guys,
back.
don't forget to join our Discord if you have any doubts.
Yeah, hey everyone, so I'm back, sorry. I'll be talking about how open source changes your career, and I'm glad like I can talk about this topic because it did changed my career. Open source changed my life, I would say. Small introduction about myself. I'm working as an open source advocate at CodeRabbit. I'm also an Angular GD, a GitHub star, and Microsoft MVP, and uh, yeah, this all happened because I think one day, like 7 years ago, I decided to start doing open source. Right? I mean, it's just changed the entire career trajectory for me. So to give you an idea, like I've been writing code for 17 years now. Yeah, the way we write code now has changed, of course. Like when I started in 2008, 17 years ago, and there was no AI, right? I mean, I'm sure like Praveen, who has been working for a long time in tech as well, knows like the earlier days where we used to just write in Notepad or Notepad plus plus. I know I cannot even think about it. Like nowadays, people writing code on Notepad plus plus and uh, trying to make it work until unless you give interview for Google, right? Where you have to write it in Google Docs. But from my career has seen several shift. So from 2008 to 2017, I was mostly doing .NET. I'm sure like a lot of developers might be aware of .NET, and I was like writing Windows desktop app, like code for Windows desktop app, and then I started doing ASP.NET, MVC. I wrote like a lot of APIs, web services in early days, then where it used to be all SOAP based or XML based, whatever we used to call, and then the era of REST came in. So I've seen all those shift, right? Changing the technology, changing how we interact with other systems, moving on to REST. And then 2017, I decided to jump into something else. I was like, okay, let's move on and do some, maybe try out another technology. And I found Angular. And I found Angular, or started liking Angular because of TypeScript. So it's not like Angular, but 2017, if people remember, TypeScript was like I almost hated by everyone for no reason, right? And people were not ready to give it a chance, but Angular did, and that's why I fell in love with Angular. And I started doing Angular, and I started teaching it. And after a few years, I realized, oh, why I mean, I have made good career due to Angular, which is open source. I'm not paying for it. Like I never paid a single penny from my own pocket to actually learn Angular. and I just got a good job just because I was good at doing Angular, right? And then 2019, one day I said, okay, let's change this. I started contributing to open source. So I did my first PR for a technology or a library, which is widely used in Angular ecosystem called NGRX. It's for state management. It's similar to what maybe if you might have done Redux. So it's almost similar to Redux. It used to be. It has now changed. And then from there, I started doing PRs for Angular, and then started doing PRs for different technologies. And and then I said, okay, let's do more, right? So I started writing blogs, I started speaking at conferences. And in 2019, by the end of 2019, I was recognized as a Google developer expert for Angular. But did it change anything for me in that span? I would say yes, because I made a lot of connection. I met a lot of people in the open source world. I was not sure like how it is going to help, but in future it did, because in 2019, once I became Google developer expert and I started giving talks at many conferences, or I was about to, like I started interacting with multiple communities, my employer said, "Hey, we will not allow you to speak at conferences." And I said, "Okay, I will move on." But you cannot do that, like in case you don't have a backup. And I realized that I had a backup, which was community. So I reached out to my friends, and then they said, yeah, let's work together. And that's how I got my next job. And then after that, 2020 happened. Everything moved virtual. COVID, the worst time of our era. I think we literally lost 2 3 years uh, because of COVID. No one could meet anyone. Everything was virtual. But the community continued, right? I mean, we were still hanging out. We were still like doing a lot of open source, talking to people, because of course, that's how the community is, right? I mean, so that helped me to move into my career as well, because whenever I needed a job, I could just go to my friends and say, hey, are you hiring? And that's how I moved to Germany even in 2022. So it's been 4 years for me since I moved to Germany, and that also happened because of connection, right? This is how the from someone who was not known in the community to someone who can just ask someone for a job and easily get recommended. This all changed because of open source. I don't have to tell anybody that, okay, hey, hire me because I do this. People knew me. People know, okay, this guy already knows his stuff and he can do things, right? So that's how I moved to Germany. Then, of course, now I work at CodeRabbit. I just joined CodeRabbit like a week ago. So it's been a week so far. And since 2019, I would say like all the jobs I had was because of my contribution to open source, or because the network I made via open source. So it helps you in long term. Just don't look at the short term gain, because we all know that Hacktoberfest happens every year. Suddenly millions of developers become open source contributor, and then next day or next month they are not visible anywhere. So that's not going to help you. That's short term gain. So in long term, just keep contributing, keep interacting with communities, like what this team is doing here. They are going to do this for next 3 months, and get involved, but don't stop, right? And this will of course help you in long term. This will change your career. And remember one more thing before I finish. You don't have to contribute to open source just because of FOMO. Don't do that. That's the worst thing which you can do for your career. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Santosh, for your insights. That was a great reminder of how open source is not just about code, but about community, collaboration, and long-term growth. And let's move ahead to our next speaker.
Okay. I have one question, Santosh. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Like basically, typically, I've started my developer journey in web development field, and I always wanted to like learn Angular framework, but I always found it very difficult. So should I, based on the trend, should I learn Angular or should I just skip?
And it really depends, right? I mean, a lot of people do ask this question. Of course, Angular was difficult to learn, but it has been changing since maybe 2 years now. They're trying to simplify how the framework is, but you don't have to, right? Why? I mean, uh, remember, like if you want to learn something, like you should also think like why I want to learn it. Just because people are talking about it, or I just really care about it. When I started learning about learning Angular, it was because I loved the technology, right? I loved TypeScript. And I was like, okay, let's give it a try, and that's how it clicked for me. It's not like something people were talking about it. Like no one was talking about Angular in 2017, I am sure. But up to you. I mean, whatever you like, explore. I think a lot of developers are scared to explore. That's what I don't think. Like I mean, it doesn't make sense to me basically because I have been exploring in my entire career. I have changed so many technologies, so many things, and it all happened because I said, okay, let's give a shot, right? I mean, what worst can happen? And now we are in the era of AI, where AI can also help you learn. And I work at CodeRabbit, which is a code review company now. Go ahead and utilize those tools, right? I mean, we are free for open source. You can just go ahead and create or ask AI to write, and ask CodeRabbit to review your PR, and it will give you good insights like what code you have. I would say the time to learn new technology, I think it has been reducing drastically because of AI. So go ahead and
Exactly,
explore.
yeah.
Like, I mean, all the technologies are same. If you can achieve the same thing using React, Angular, Next.js, Nux, and nothing changes. The only thing which changes is syntax.
Thank you very much for sharing your insights and experience. We'll totally focus on that. So, Avnikant, we can move forward with our session.
So let's move ahead to our next speaker, Arpan Mandal. He's our former GDG lead at GDG on-campus IIIT Kalyani, community builder, and someone who is also known for wild, honest, and extremely motivating talks. If open source had hype music, Arpan would be the DJ. Let's welcome Arpan Mandal with big applause.
Okay, just one more thing, chat. Arpan Bhaiya is yes, he is the former GDG lead. He was the GDG lead for IIIT Kalyani last year, and he was none other than he was the organizer for Winter of Food 4.0. So let's welcome Arpan Bhaiya. Hello.
Hi Saksham, what's up? Hi Avnikant. Hi everyone else. Yeah, it's been a great time, and I'm seeing that this is being quite a great event. Hello everyone, I'm back, and it's really good to be back here for the fifth edition. And man, last year organizing it was great fun for us organizers. We learned a lot on this journey, and it's very proud moment for us to see that you're continuing the legacy, and you're doing pretty good at this. And I can really see that people are really enjoying this. The contributors who are learning things on the way, they're taking curiosity, and the mentors are really feeding into their curiosity. They're letting them learn. They're letting them enjoy. The most important part of learning and enjoying the things that you have learned. It's very important. And this event of ours that we have crafted over the years, it's been quite a beautiful journey, and it's not really about the outcomes. It's mostly about the beautiful journey that we go along, right? People have been learning so fluently in different languages, and they have been building stuff in public. Most people have social anxiety, so this issue is also being solved. They're also able to present, they're also able to articulate their thoughts better. They're also able to display their work better, showcase it better, so that more people understand. The communication is improving. So this is a very good ecosystem that we're building towards. So I'm very happy for you all, and man, keep up. You're doing great. Let's make it a great one. Let's go.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for your speech of encouragement and support in us. We surely don't let you down.
Thank you.
So, hello, chat. So, are you guys bored? Are you sleepy? Are you have the energy to go on? Okay, so you have got the energy to go on. So let's move back to our. Thank you, Arpamia, for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's let's go back to some stats we want in this session. So a quick reaction in the chat. Is my screen visible? Hello, folks. Is my screen visible? Is my PPT visible? Nice, nice, nice. So moving forward, do you all know what are organization, projects, and proposals in an open source event? Yes, 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 yes. Nice, nice, nice. So as we have many beginners participating in Winter of Code, so let me give a like, quick brief about these organizations, projects, and proposals. Starting with organizations. Organizations are like production level communities and industries which bring in their projects, a set of projects, not only one, and problem statements for you contributors to work on. These are not any like personal individuals who bring in any personal projects. These are actual deployed projects which are being used in the industry. The projects are active open source GitHub repositories bringing by those selected organizations in the Winter of Code, where you got get the opportunity to explore and contribute into. So finally, the most important thing, what is a proposal? We have got an enormous number of doubts and queries regarding this. What is a proposal? How to submit it? Where to submit it? So we'll clear everything in this session. A proposal is like a structured plan of your thinking, like what you think about any project or organization, what benefits you can provide to that project, what features you can fix or add to it in the coming event. So you have to like portray a proper workflow, starting with the description of the features or bugs you want to fix, along with the timeline, like how much time you are going to take. That doesn't need to be a hard code time that you will take 3 days only, but you can give a range. All the the format and the template will share with you after the session. So based on these proposals, which you are going to write during this session and submit to us, your selection for any like project or organization will be done. It's not like any other open source program where you can just raise any issue in any project and you can contribute to it. So moving forward, the organizations that we have for WC 5.2 this year, starting with OWASP, Mix, Cornea, QCDEDS, then Vacanza, also known as Open World Holidays Framework, Deploy, Tide, Obstry, Open Printing, Kumbhaka Dev, Performance C, Programmers Paradise, Open Source Chandigarh, Fossia, Cookithor, PSMRI, Wallgods, Rootsprout, and Development Society AEC. These are some renowned organizations throughout the globe. And they doesn't need any like personal introductions themselves because many of you all know them through some or the other events or mainly Google Server of Code because many of these organizations are an active part of it. So moving forward to our sponsors. As you all know, sponsors are like the pillar of any event because without any sponsor and an event cannot exist. Starting with our sponsors, the first the platinum tier. So Fueler is our platinum tier sponsor. Moving forward, we have Osane as a diamond sponsor, Interview Buddy as a gold sponsor, Art of Problem Solving and Keyploy together as our silver sponsor, .xyz as a domain partner, Stockage as a knowledge partner, and Wintrix as a career partner. So here was the basic stuff and knowledge about Winter of Code 5.0. As you have seen that we have reached a quite great number of students and contributors across the world. So how was it possible? Any ideas, folks? You can write your answers in the chat. Okay. So let me tell you all, we were able to reach this whole immersive diverse crowd with the help of our community partners. So this year we have got more than 40 community partners as such, starting with last minute engineering, the President's Network, Students Chapter EC, Builder Base, Open Source Endeavor, and a whole lot of other great communities who have helped us reach this to this level and get to you all. And as you all know, Winter of Food has been organized by GDG Club of IIIT Kalyani. So it's not a surprise that we are also being supported by other GDG clubs of different colleges. So here they are. These are all the GDGs supporting us through their communication, through their communities and their workforce. So moving forward, we have our next speaker sessions. Avnikant will give you an intro to that. Avnikant?
Moving ahead in today's inauguration ceremony, we are honored to welcome a speaker with decades of experience in building developer-focused technologies. Our next speaker is Chris Sells, principal consultant at Sells Brothers Incorporated and formerly a senior product manager at Google and Meta. He brings over 30 years of experience in building developer tools, frameworks, and technology ecosystems. He'll be sharing his perspective on why open source matters and what it's why it's a powerful space for developers. Please join me in welcoming Chris Sells.
Good evening. I think you can hear me, but when I try to start up my video, it says it's been disabled by the host.
I'm fixing it.
I'm fixing it.
Okay. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me?
Yes, Chris, we can see you. Hello.
Yes. Hey. I have some slides. Okay, to share them. Please go
Yes.
ahead. Okay. Every time I use Zoom, they scramble the UI. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to share just a screen. Is that a thing you can do?
There will be an option in the screen sharing window, so you should be able to find it out. Should be the second option or something like that. A single
Here it
window
is.
or the whole screen.
There, I get it.
Awesome, cool.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, now we can.
Yes, we
Excellent.
can see you, Chris. Nice.
Well, hello everyone. With the technical details out of the way, thank you for that excellent introduction. And I'd like to have a shout out to Santosh about CodeRabbit. I didn't realize it was free for open source projects. I'm definitely gonna check out CodeRabbit. I do I do a bunch of open source, which of course you probably knew, since that's why you invited me. So let's talk about that. So as you already heard, I've been building a bunch of open source things. Just a little bit about me. Um, just so you know who the heck is giving you advice in the first place. I've done a bunch of things. I've worked at a bunch of big corporations. I have done a bunch of startups. I started a startup back before we had the word startup. Back then, we just called it starting a company. And then I was acquired by another bigger company, and um, I've joined a few startups. I've done pretty much everything you can do in that space, and I've done a bunch of writing. My personal website has been up since the mid '90s, and there's it's kind of like a history of the IT industry at this point with various blog posts. of the technical work that I've done over the years kind of lays out kind of the changes of the industry. If you're interested in such a thing, there's a bunch of books that I've written that are also kind of historical at this point. I don't know if any of those acronyms make any sense to anyone on this call. TAPI is the telephony API, ATL is the active template library, which doesn't help. COM, the component object model. None of those are very relevant these days, but they all helped me kind of understand deep diving into technology, and they were all platforms for me to get out into the community, which was really kind of all led to a lot of the open source work I've done, including, I have a lot of repos. Not all of them are impressive by any stretch. But I have made contributions to the Flutter open source project, as well as if you're a Flutter dev, the Go Router package, the Flutter AI toolkit. I have just the point of this is really my entire career has been, in service of developers and the developer community. And what that has meant is a lot of speaking, a lot of writing, and a lot of open source contributions, not just to my own open source projects, but to a number of other open source projects as well. In fact, I find at this point, kind of my reflex is I want to do something. Is there an open source project to do it? Does it do what I need it to do? If not, then let me contribute. Let me help that existing source project kind of grow and thrive. Otherwise, I build my own, and that's how that goes. And why would I do such a thing? Well, I mean, a friend of mine used to say a book is a 600-page resume, and I've certainly been able to build kind of each new step in my career based on my reputation. And the best way to build my reputation was through my community outreach, through speaking and writing and open source projects. And what's unique about open source is that it's running code. It's a thing that you had to build to solve a problem that actually has to run and perform an action, and it provides an excellent kind of insight by any potential employer in terms of how you actually think, and how well you code and how well you can solve problems and what architecture you choose and all of the things that go into, building, running apps and services. And so it's really a wonderful way to kind of build up that reputation, both kind of, if you've build something that's popular and you're known in the community. That has helped me several times in getting jobs, both consulting jobs and employment, as well as just including it on your resume, as simple as saying, hey, go take a look at my GitHub, and you can see kind of the things that I've built and how I would write code if I were to come to your organization. Now, the other thing that's really interesting when you build open source projects is, especially as they become popular, right? It's really training for working for a company that wants you to build software to solve their problems for them. So when you start building things, typically you'll start by contributing to someone else's repository, and then you'll give them a PR, and they will review it and tell you what you got right and what you got wrong, and then that kind of helps you learn as you go, and then as you grow into an open source expertise either in somebody else's repo or in your own repos, and it gets users, those users are going to complain. That's what users do. They're going to say, okay, that was really great, except it doesn't do these things, or when I try to do this, it crashes, or and so you get feedback from users that actually care about your stuff, which feels great. Um, Although generally you only hear from them when they're complaining, so you gotta have a little bit of a thick skin there. But the fact that they're giving you feedback means they're using it, and you have an opportunity to not only improve your thing and make it more usable in the real world, but you also get an opportunity to learn what people really think and how they really use your code, how they really need to integrate it with whatever they're doing to solve their problems. And all of that helps when it comes to, again, training for being, an employee for someone or a consultant building real world solutions that you're being paid for, right? So it's all training for, paid work. Now, just as an example of the kind of thing you should choose, right? As I laugh at this slide because all of these slides were built by Nano Banana Pro, and they were all, I really love. I said, hey, make it winter of code themes. I don't know if you have snow where you are in the winter, but that's the theme that we got, and I think it's pretty great, honestly. It was a lot of fun building out these slides, but I'm sorry, I got distracted by all the snowflakes and the over engineering of these slides. One of the packages I built is a routing solution. If you're a Flutter developer, you need, to be able to have multiple pages in your Flutter app and a stack of pages, and you need to do a lot of things. It turns out routing, it turns out to be a difficult problem. Um, and so when I was building that up, I started from scratch. I started from a blank Dart file, and I started kind of at the very core, right? What is kind of the smallest possible thing I can do, right? And then that made it work. And I developed it in the open, but I probably worked on it for about 3 months before evenings and weekends because I had a day job. I was a PM on the Flutter team at Google at the time. I probably built on it for about 3 months before I got it to a place where people could actually use it. And I had a set of, hey, I'm building real apps. I need to do real routing. What are the various scenarios I need? And then getting it to a point, an MVP, right? Something that was minimally useful for folks, and releasing it, and then hearing back from them. What do they need, right? What's not in there that really needs to be in there, and really going uh, back and forth with people until eventually the package became so popular that the Flutter team itself asked if they could take over maintenance. And so we moved the package into the Flutter organization on GitHub. And now it's the kind of the official routing solution. And all of that came from, starting from scratch, understanding what it was that the community needed, and then building that up over time, and then listening to the community. And at the same time, I was building up GoRouter. It was something that really mattered to me because I was building Flutter apps that needed a robust routing solution. So the lesson here really is, of course, listen to your users. Be clear what it is your package supports and how it supports it. But also, really, if you're going to be motivated, because open source, a lot of times you're shouting into the wilderness, right? You're building something and it takes a while before it becomes something that, other people care about, that it meets their needs before they even learn about it. It takes a while to really, grow an audience. for an open source package if you're building something on your own. So my core advice there is pick something that really matters to you. Pick something that you're going to be using to solve real problems in your life, right? That's going to be the thing. So that means that even though you build something, you release it, even if it never takes off, you've learned a bunch of things and you've built a piece of code that you can use in building apps that you care about. And so there's really no downside. And then if you get lucky and social media and blogging and talks or however you get the word out for your library, whatever it is, or your app, your open source project. If it turns out to be something that's popular, then that's great. But it shouldn't be the only thing you're after, right? There's a lot of benefits to open source. Okay. That brings up really my favorite benefit for open source. We spent a bunch of time talking about code and tests and deployments and maintenance and issues and PRs and things, and those are all technology touch points for your open source project. But really, the thing you're doing with open source is at the heart of this idea of we're all kind of in this together, right? There's this enormous ecosystem of all of this freely available code that we all have our reasons for releasing, right? It could be good for our career. It could be good for us as engineers. We could really love it when people fork our stuff or like it or star it or complain about it. There's lots of reasons to do it. One of my favorites is you're really you're making other people's lives better, right? Anytime someone finds your package and brings it into their project to solve their problem, you've connected with a person. And then even better when they reach out with feedback, with feature requests, with bug reports, even better PRs, right? Or maybe it's not a kind of a drive-by PR. I need this feature, merge this and I'm going away forever because you've now solved whatever issues I have. But it could be an ongoing collaboration with someone. My favorite interactions with people are where I make new friends and I learn new things and I form new partnerships and I interact with new people. And what I find is that people, even when often you're interacting with them and they're complaining, reporting issues, requesting features, in general, I find them to be, grateful that they found your thing and that you are willing to interact with them to fix their problems. I found them to be super smart, right? Hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Giving you new ideas and new directions for your project that you hadn't considered before. And I find those, now I know the internet is filled with trolls and people who just like to complain. And I've had those people on my open source projects as well. But on the whole, I find those interactions to be, I find them to be my favorite part of contributing to open source is really the interactions with the people. And remember, what you're building is for you. You're a person. It's for other people. And think about it from that point of view. And then, of course, those partnerships lead to things, right? I just learned that CodeRabbit is free for open source projects. That's pretty great, right? I'm going to make use of that knowledge. I make friends. I build connections. Lots of times, companies maintaining open source. Somebody asked about Angular. If you start contributing to Angular, you become a major contributor. And Google needs an Angular engineer. Well, the first place they look is their major contributors on their open source projects, right? So there's just so many reasons to really think about open source from the point of view of connecting with real people. That I find to be kind of honestly the best part for me. All right, so what do you do? Well, I recommend you start small. You know, this open source works best when you are building a thing. I have a problem. I want to build an AI agent that I can talk to from my old phone that, is just collecting dust in my drawer. I want to build an automatic system for feeding my chickens. I want to, start my own DoorDash competitor, whatever it is, right? But define and build a thing that you care about and start building it for real. Evenings, weekends, and build it in the open, and start pulling in other open source libraries. And when you run into problems, because you always will, it's either a missing feature or a bug you find in your use case, default to contributing those issues, contributing fixes for those issues to existing open source projects. So that you can, start building that muscle. Maybe you do this in a few projects and, you get a feel for it, what works, what doesn't, who you interact with that you like, what you enjoy, and maybe you pick a project and you focus on it and you start pulling, the lists of issues off the issue list and implementing new things, start reviewing PRs. You can become a contributor to an open source project mostly by doing it. And the authors are often very grateful for the help. And you can quickly move, depending on the project, to kind of, an official contributor on that package with, the rights to start approving PRs and all kinds of things. And you can start to build a reputation there, visibility, build those relationships. I think of all of the benefits as kind of naturally flowing. So when I pick up, my text editor to, work on a fix on a forked project that I want to submit as a PR, I don't think about it as, hey, this looks good on my resume. This is going to help me get jobs in the future. Certainly, that's true, and I know it's true because I've spent a career and that has been the case. But I think about it from, how can I improve this library for myself and for others? How can I build a connection with the author, build a partnership? How can I solve this real problem that really matters to me, kind of in the software space? Those are the things I think about, and all the rest of it kind of falls out from that. I think if you go into it from the, how do I write this code to build my resume, you're not going to end up in the place you want to be. Instead, think about it from the, how do I help people's lives? How do I bring value into the world that matters to me? I think that is a much better way to get to the place that you want to be. And that's it. That's what I have to say this evening. I'm happy to take questions if anyone has any.
Thank you so much, Krish, for sharing your insights and giving such great suggestions from my side. I do have one question from my side. As you said, like interacting with others and building your marketing is very much important. So how should I do that? And how to make my presence visible to others while giving them the benefits through my coding and stuff?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, right? How do you gain an audience? How do you build a user base? I find social media to be wonderful. I've been blogging forever. I think all the new folks these days are building up YouTube channels, right? Building long and short form videos, building things. There's a whole world of SEO and building videos that are caught by the YouTube algorithm that make it into people's feeds, etc. And I definitely would recommend doing some amount of study there. Um, I ignore all that, and I always have, only because, for me, I'm intrinsically motivated, right? Which is I write my articles on my blog because it helps me think through things, right? And I publish them so I can get feedback and improve my knowledge for something. It's never really for me been about becoming, famous on the internet. It's always been more of an intellectual exercise for me. But but I also have accidentally gotten a lot of readers on my blog posts and a lot of followers on Twitter and LinkedIn. And I think bringing value is number one. And of course, then a close number two is, okay, how do you get, eyeballs, right? Because um, there's a lot of projects that I build that nobody ever really cares about on my repo, but it's also really fun when I build something that kind of catches fire that people are interested in. So I try to do. I'm always happy, right, that something I built becomes popular.
Thank you so much, sir. We do have some more questions from the audience.
Yeah.
Starting with, like someone is asking, like how to start as a beginner in open source. Like starting in open source seems quite confusing and difficult from their POV.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the luxury of I started open source when an open source repository was a zip file that I published on my website, right? This was before the term open source software existed, before GitHub existed, before Git existed, right? It was we were sending around. I remember, publishing libraries as zip files, and then people would contribute files, and they'd all have different changes via email, and it would be my job to merge them all together and test them and provide a new release with an updated zip file on my website. The most primitive thing ever. I would not recommend it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, open source has become so huge. I mean, especially now with AI coding, people are opening up new repos like some big number every minute. I mean, it's craziness how big it is. And I wouldn't approach it from if I were to kind of go to GitHub and say, what should I contribute to? I would be completely lost. That would not work at all for me. Instead, I very much recommend focusing on here's a problem that matters to me in my life, a solution that I would use, even if nobody else did, and then start building that in the open and pull in libraries, excuse me, pull in existing libraries that implement features that you need for your application, whatever it is you're building. And then when those become, oh, that's really cool. It'd be really great to have this feature, that feature. Suddenly, now you have a vector for, oh, there's a bug here. There's a feature I want here. You have a vector for finding those open source libraries that you really think you could help improve. And that's a much better way to go than the gajillions of libraries that are already out there. How could you possibly choose? That never works.
It's really interesting. So for the time being, we will take one last question. That is, does your domain really matter in open source? And one more like sub part of it, like in the coming era of AI, how we can just improve as programmers to just skip this part and just not get scared through AI part. Like we can get any code with one single prompt. So how to get better than that?
Well, as it turns out, you can get code from any prompt. I wouldn't necessarily say that it is the case that you can get any code from any prompt because the default seems to be crappy code in my experience from any prompt, especially the more code you ask for, the higher percentage of it is going to be crappy. I do a lot of AI engineering these days. That's my main focus. And so what I've been experimenting with is how do you get a high quality code out of an AI coding agent, right? And so in my experience, what that means is working extensively on the plans, the specifications for what you're going to build, and being clear about what you want and checking those specifications and working with the agent to update them and make sure they're consistent and as complete as you can possibly make them. And then I spend a lot of time on the result, making sure that it's tested thoroughly and properly, making sure that it lives up to my standards from an architectural best practices point of view. Um, if you let it, you will get reams and reams of really, really bad code. But you can then take that, move it to a place where it passes the tests and works, and then move it to the next place where it actually is good code, well architected. And so what I recommend there is uh, I find that it matters less what language you can contribute to than it used to, right? I have become, for example, I had an AI agent build up 23 Go packages overnight. I woke up this morning and they were implemented, including 6 of them I didn't want or need, and were just confusing, so I removed them. But I'm not a Go programmer, right? Now I am a programmer, right? And I have a large number of languages that I know, and so Go is just a different syntax that's very familiar to, C style programmers. And so while I couldn't tell you if it's idiomatic Go using best practices for Go, I can tell you whether it's idiomatic code and using best practices from an architectural point of view. And I can work with the agent to make sure that it's both idiomatic Go and follows architectural best practices. And what I find is that actually makes contributing to open source a lot easier. I primarily work in Dart and Flutter these days because that's the language and framework that I like the best, and I get to choose. But I spend a lot of time doing Go. I spend a lot of time doing Python. I spend a lot of time doing TypeScript because that's where the existing libraries are. In some cases that I depend on, that I use, and I can provide. Um, Tests that show issues, reproducible cases to log bugs, as well as anyone in any language. I can provide PRs that are good quality code in any language. And so the nice thing about the coding agents is now I can write Go and TypeScript and Python code just as fast as I can write, Dart and Flutter.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your insights and suggestions. I really found your thinking very much interesting. Even our audience liked it very much. And just to let our audience know, sir is taking this session at 4 a.m. Where he's saying it's 4 a.m., literally 4 a.m. And thank you, sir, for coming and joining us at this critical hour.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. So, guys, moving forward, we have another speaker of ours.
Next, let's move on to our next speaker. Next, we have Vanshika Agarwal. He is a software engineer at Google and previously worked there as a member of technical staff at Oracle. He is an active tech speaker and a mentor and brings strong hands-on experience in writing production quality code. In this session, she'll be sharing her insights on writing code that actually gets merged and an extremely important skill that for anyone getting started here with open source. Please join me in welcoming Vanshika Agarwal.
Hello,
Hello.
am I audible?
Yes, 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 Vanshika, you are audible.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Vanshika Agarwal. I'm currently a software engineer at Google. And before this, I was part of Oracle for an year. So basically, at Google, I work with ML infrastructure and backend systems. And I'm really excited to be part of the Winter of Code. It's an initiative that closely mirrors how many of us actually learned engineering, like by building and breaking. So you can also find some of my content and tips as well as mentorship related slices that I share on my Instagram and LinkedIn. So today I'm here to discuss more about clean commits and PR etiquette in general. So, in general, what maintainers look for in a commit is that the commits are small and focused. Like each commit has just one idea, and the commit messages are clearer. Like what happened, what changed, and why it changed. So, they should ideally be solving just one problem at a time so that it does not become like a nightmare for both the reviewer as well as the maintainer in the future. So the best practices would be to sort of avoid very large PRs and respond to reviews thoughtfully. There's no need to be argumentative about it. You can explain your point of view that why you did a certain thing, but don't take it too personally, in my opinion. The second thing that is also very important, in my opinion, is to write good tests and documentation. So, tests are basically proof that your code won't be breaking any existing behavior or any existing changes. So, it will help increase the reviewer's confidence, which will end up in resulting in fast merges. So, good tests would cover the intent of whatever change you have put in, not just the lines of code. So, do not really go into the code coverage, but go into the intent coverage or behavior testing of your code. You need to always include edge cases, and your test should be easy to read and reason about. That's where I think documentation comes into place. So you can have some clear PR descriptions, some inline comments where logic isn't obvious, but a lot of people sort of go extra board with their comments. You don't need comments for very easy to understand code. You just need comments where the logic isn't very obvious or where the reader might have an question in their mind as to why this or certain approach has been taken. And always be aware of the readme or doc updates if you're changing any sort of behaviors. The third thing that should be taken into account is that we need to design for long term maintainability, especially in open source, because there are a lot of people who would be contributing. So avoid over engineering, have or avoid like extremely clever but unreadable code, because that is something which is very difficult to manage in the long term. And avoid any hard coded assumptions as much as possible. So any maintainer would prefer some simple, even if it's boring or predictable solution, some clear namings and fewer lines of code if possible. And there should be some sort of a consistent pattern within the existing code base. And this would actually help you in your corporate jobs also in the future if anyone is interested in it, because code maintainability is something that a lot of big tech is also suffering from. Like there are a lot of code bases which are very difficult to navigate for new engineers or even existing engineers if they were not the ones who sort of authored it. So you need to always think whether this code will scale, or if someone new joins your team, would they understand that code in the next 6 months, so to say. The next thing that you can take care of is that you can think like a maintainer. So you're not just submitting your code, you're kind of joining their team, even if temporarily. So maintainers would care about like stability or backward compatibility or support burden. We need to understand whether our code is actually good enough to be merged or not. So we need to support it in that way. And whenever you think of opening a PR, you need to ask whether this fits the project's goals, or whether the existing pattern that is present in the code base is being followed or not, and what could go wrong in production. So the last thing I think that helps get PRs merge faster is that if you follow all the contribution guidelines, all open source projects have some contribution guidelines. So be very sure that you check it out properly and you read it multiple times if possible to sort of understand what the maintainers are expecting. And if possible, you can reference issues in other PRs as well. You can add some sort of screenshots or logs wherever it's relevant. And lastly, be very respectful and patient in your reviews, because ultimately the reviewer is not really pointing fingers at you that, oh, you did not do this properly or you did not do that properly. They're just giving you some feedback so that it becomes easy for you to maintain, for you or anyone to maintain the code base in the long run. So I think that's about it from my side. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your insights and experiences with us. I do have one basic question. Like, what we have to consider while making a PR? Like you said, we don't have to just focus on how big the code base is, but we have to focus on small details. Can you please clarify that part?
Yeah, so what I really mean is that try to make one, so you can have a problem statement and your PR should focus on just one problem statement at a time. Your PR should not be something that you have like a very big project and you made all the changes in one PR, and then the reviewer or the maintainer is sort of having to look at each and every line to understand what is happening. The best way is to have focused and small incremental changes. It's like a habit building, so to say. Like, I'm not sure if a lot of people have read or heard about Atomic Habits, but it just says that you need to get 1% better every single day. So in case of PRs also, it's better to solve one single problem with every single PR so that it becomes easy to review as well as maintain and merge. I hope that
Thank you,
answers your
ma'am.
question.
Exactly. I got that answer. We have one question from the audience. Like, is there any specific format for raising a PR?
So the format depends on the project. So if, for example, at Google, it differs from different teams to different teams. Some teams would prefer a certain kind of syntax, like language syntax when we talk about. Uh, and other teams would prefer a different syntax. It's similar with open source as well. So I think the key here is to read the contribution guidelines and sort of make a decision based on that. And you can always refer to the language documentations like CPP documentation or Java documentation and so on, and whatever best practices are being followed in the particular open source project would be helpful.
Thank you, ma'am. I guess that's answered the questions.
Sure.
And thank you very much for sharing your insights and explanations with us. It really
Thank you.
helps a lot to the audience.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So hello guys, moving forward, just to clarify, by seeing your chat, I have to just answer some questions. Like on DevFolio, you don't have to submit any project as such. The DevFolio submission portal is there for the submission of your 3 proposals. Okay, so don't submit any project over there. You have to submit your proposals over there, and we will release a in detail video about how to submit your proposals on DevFolio and in what format by tomorrow end of day. Okay. So is that clear, chat? Just give a quick thumbs up. Okay, nice. So moving forward with the program flow. As you all know, the registrations for Winter of Code was started in 15 November and is ending today, 10th of January at 12 a.m. So please make sure that everyone has registered for Winter of Code. And if you want to share it with your friends, please do so, because there will be no more extensions for the registration part. And inaugural ceremony, you are right in here in the inaugural ceremony of Winter of Code, 10 Jan. Moving forward, starting from tomorrow, Like, in fact, starting from today itself, we have already started accepting your proposals. But if you have any confusion, we will guide you with that. And after that, you can submit your proposals. And you can submit your proposals by 20th January only. So make sure you are on time and don't miss any deadlines. So after proposal writing phase, there comes the community bonding phase. This is for this kind of open source events. This is a very crucial phase for you, for the contributors. In the community bonding phase, you will have to like interact with the mentors, the maintainers of the projects or organizations you want to contribute to. So why is this important? So with the interaction with them, it makes your intentions clear, it makes your thinking clear, like what are their expectations from you all regarding their projects. And they also get a clear idea of what you all are thinking regarding the projects and how you're preparing to contribute to their projects. And this increases your chances very well of the acceptance of your proposals. Okay. Uh, yes, Thor, you can only submit 3 proposals at max. That means 3 proposals means to individual organizations. Each proposal is intended for a single organization. Like if I want to contribute to say mix open printing and OWASP, I will write the in detail process like how I want to contribute to their projects, and I will make one proposal tending to them. So when we have to last date to submit the proposals. So as it is mentioned in the screen, the last date to submit the proposals is on 20th January. Moving forward, after the community bonding phase ends, we will like release all the acceptances from the organizations, like who are the contributors selected for from the organizations and can start contributing towards the projects. Yes, let me clarify this. Everyone cannot contribute to all the projects or any projects until and unless you are selected by the organizations themselves. And that's why winter of code is different. So you will get around 1.5 months for your coding phase starting from 1st February to 15th March. Okay. Okay, what do I? We will share a complete guide of what to write and how to write in the proposals. So please don't worry about that. Yes, of course, we'll share the video ASAP about submitting your proposals by tomorrow, I guess. No, there are not only 8 projects, there are more than 45 projects listed on our website. Yes, exactly. Coding phase is only for the contributors who are selected by the organizations and not for everyone. Exactly like Google Summer of Code. So what happens after the coding phase? After your coding period ends, all the mentors of different organizations make one detailed report about you all, like marking you all, how you all performed in different respective fields in the coding period. And this marking is not only based on your PR or code. This also includes your communication throughout the event with the mentors and contributors, other contributors, and how well you communicate, and also how much you are reliable. That means if you are following the deadline or not, if you are not dealing the work, stuff like that. To find the GitHub repo and organization list, please check our website. They have listed all the organizations and projects in detail over there. Okay. I guess that answers your questions. So moving forward, after your mentor evaluations, we will have one closing ceremony on 10th April. We don't have any winners as such in Winter of Code, but we do appreciate our top 20 contributors of the whole event. We don't rank them, but we just mentioned these are the top 20 contributors for Winter of Code. Okay. As I've mentioned earlier, your proposals will be submitted on Devfolio only. Okay. Not top 30, but it will be top 20 only. So moving forward, we have the in detail descriptions of each phase we are going to have in winter of code. So the most important phase which you will have during winter of code will be the proposal writing phase, which will occur from 10th January to 20th January. So why do you have proposal-based selection, and why not just random acceptance of other contributors like any other open source event? Because proposals gives the ownership and the responsibility to contributors themselves. You become responsible for your own actions. Like what happens during other events, which I have faced, that the contributors just raises issues and then goes the mentors or the communications and do not follow up, do not fix that issue. So giving an in detail proposal gives the responsibility to them that they want to complete their work. And this is how we make sure that selected contributors do learn what they are intended to and not just sit around there. And also, the organizations that we have, they get a clear idea of what you are going to do during the coding phase and how well do you understand the organization and the project. So that's and after you understand the project, then only you can have a clear idea of fixing their issues or proposing new ones. Okay. Okay. There are no teams in Winter of Code as such. This is a solo open source event. Oh yes, we do have some great swags for top contributors. Yes, uh, yes, you're right. You have to first select your projects, then make your proposals, and when your project proposals are selected, then you can start contributions from 1st Feb. Okay, so moving forward, we have important proposal guidelines. As I have mentioned earlier, each contributor can only submit 3 proposals, and anyone submitting more than 3 proposals, we will just select the top 3 and ignore the others. We won't even open the links. We'll just select the top 3 links shared by you all. And another most important thing, the 3 proposals you will be sending, you will be only selected for one organization and one project, not all 3. The other 2 are your backups. So if you have selected 3 organizations to contribute on, you will write your proposals for them. And if you are selected for any one of them, you will be assigned to that organizations and not the others. Okay. Yes, we do have some prizes for top 20 contributors. Okay. Yes, beginners can contribute to Winter of Code. We do have some great projects over here. And not only tech buddies, we do have some design accepting contributions as well. There are some organizations which also accepts design contributions in their repos. Yes, this is more or less the same flow which follows in Google Summer of Code as well. Okay, nice. I guess that answers all your questions. If you submit only one proposal, then if and only if that organization selects you, you are selected. And if that only organization rejects you, then you are not selected for the contribution phase. So to increase your chances for acceptance in the contribution phase, we recommend to submit at least 3 proposals. Okay, nice. Sure. So moving forward, how to write a great proposal, guys? Any idea? How to write a great proposal, folks in the chat? Yes, you have to write 3 proposals for different organizations. Let's see. Your proposal should reflect how well you understand that organization or how well you understand the project code base, because clarity matters most to the organizations and the mentors. because then only they will select you as their contributors. Okay, so it's generally recommended to thoroughly go through their projects and understand what's happening in their code base. In your proposals, no matter how long it is, just explain in detail what you are going to do during their coding phase, how you are going to do it. No matter how long it goes, they want the clarity part. So make sure you give them that thing. And also give them weekly timeline and milestones. Like within this time period, I am going to contribute this much of thing. I am planning this part to contribute to it in this time. It doesn't have to be a hard coded time. I will do this in this date only, but it is a like basic plan so that they can also get an idea what pace are you going through. Okay. 15th March is the deadline for the contribution period ends, because after 15th March you won't be able to contribute to that project. 20th Jan is the proposal submission deadline. Okay. And if you have any prior experience in contribution, you can also mention that in your proposals. And active communication with mentors is highly recommended because they can give a clear insight like what they want. So you can just structure your proposal in that way based on their requirements and needs. Okay. So moving forward to the community bonding phase, which is from 25th January to 31st Jan. So how to utilize this phase more nicely and why it is important for you all. This phase is basically used for setting up the code base and understanding like deploying from your local system as so that you can get a clear idea and clear picture of their projects. And what I suggest is to be, continue your communication with the mentors and owners of the repository, so to build a more strong relationship between you all, which increases the chances of a selection, which increases also the chances of the proposal selection. Okay, and it clarifies the further confusion which you can have later on. That's why, and that's how you utilize this community bonding phase very effectively. So the most exciting phase of this whole event and where all the action happens, which is the coding phase, starting from 1st Feb to 15th March. So what happens based on the proposals you have submitted and based on the organization's requirements, you are given a certain task, or you can raise certain issues yourself in the GitHub repositories. And when you're assigned to that issue, you can start contributing or start fixing that bug or making that feature. And what is generally recommended in this coding phase is that you like regularly keep on communicating with the mentors, like giving them updates, like in this time I have done this part, this task is complete, I'm facing difficulties in this part, and keep asking questions, even if it's very small or something like that, because then only you will get clarification and then only you will learn how this open source ecosystem works. Okay, and be very vigilant of then be very attentive on the feedbacks you get from the maintainers and the mentors. Okay. So what happened after your coding periods? The mentors will evaluate you all based on these factors mentioned on the screen. Your code quality, which is of course very important, how well you have fixed that issue and how it is understandable by others. Then completion of deliverables, whether you have submitted this promised deliverables or not. Then communication and reliability, whether you are updating the mentors and asking for new tasks regularly or not, whether you are reliable with the deadlines or not, whether they can trust you or not. This factor also matters the most. Then problem solving skills. In events like this, winter of code, you will definitely face certain issues, obstacles. They will also score you on the ability of how well you tackle these problems. Okay. And open source practices. This event is, of course, hosted for you all to learn these open source practices and become not master, but to get a good grasp of it. Because Winter of Code is like a warm up for Google Summer of Code. This will help you a lot. So, I guess this thing we have mentioned. So after all this, we will have our closing ceremony on April 10th, where we will do the event wrap up. We'll appreciate our top contributors as well as our community partners who have helped us throughout this wonderful journey. Of course, you all will get your certificates, participant certificates, top contributor certificates, etc. And we will have a celebration. Thanks. And to wrap up this session, we have one last speaker for you all. Abhikant, please introduce our last speaker to the audience. Hello, Abhikant.
Okay, so
Just a second.
close today's ceremony, we have Praveen Kumar. He's a director of engineering at CloudRide. Has previously served as vice president of engineering at a leading US bank. He's an active open source contributor and as well as a full stack developer and a mentor with strong experience in building and guiding real world engineering teams. So he'll be speaking on the future of open source depends on you, from student to a steward, sharing how students can grow into long-term contributors and leaders in open source. Let's welcome Praveen Kumar.
Hey everyone, so I'm Praveen and I'm originally from Chennai, India, currently living and working in London for one of the Fortune 50 companies. I was, and then right now, the way I introduce to people is my wife is JavaScript, my girlfriend is React.js, and I'm a full stack developer. I'm extremely passionate coder, and that's why I have this kind of like an introduction. So, by the way, thank you so much, Saksham and Avni, for giving such an amazing intro. And yeah, I've been like doing a lot of crazy things behind the scenes. So I'm also running this stream as well, by the way. So things are going a bit crazy here, and I could see that something is going wrong again. Okay, I know what is wrong. All right, so basically, I would like Saksham to share my website. If you can, Saksham, it would be really helpful. And I would like to quickly give a small introduction, and also we will dive into what exactly I've got ideas with me. So basically, I'm currently in London. It's 2 p.m. right now and 2:15 p.m. and it's going crazy because it's super cold outside. And coming to my part, Saksham, are you still there? Would you like to share the screen with my website?
Yeah, just a second. You start your intro, I'm just sharing this.
I'm just waiting for it. Right now, we need right now.
Okay, just a second.
All right, so okay, let me talk about my talk in the meantime while Saksham shares it. So basically, my talk is about the future of open source actually depends on you, right? So most of the internet you use every day runs on open source. Let it be your phone, let it be your browser, let it be your operating system, even the platforms that power AI, they're all working on what's happening with the screen share, bro? All right, fine. I'll just talk this way. Okay, so almost everything
Actually,
is
we had
running.
so much talk in our chat, na? Your link got lost. Just I think one.
It's the last. All right. Okay. Fine. So here's what like even whatever you use in the AI side of things, for example, DeepSeek or anything, DeepSeek R2 is actually an open source product as well. So here's something that a lot of people don't even think about it. every single thing is actually maintained by humans, right? A very small set of human beings. Oh, by the way, the screen share is ready. So, hey everyone, this is my website, and for those people who are looking for, at the end of the program, I want you all to have something like this. This is the branding that you should be working on and stuff like that. So this is something that I would like to say. And yeah, pretty much let's continue with whatever I have been talking about. Yeah, so it's all maintained by a small set of human beings. It's not companies, it's not corporations, it's not people, it's just people. And a lot of people are actually tired. Like, for example, if you had seen the people who have talked before me, they were like really passionate about how open source works and how they add things, etc. So millions of developers use their work, thousands of issues are opened, hundreds of pull requests are submitted, but only a few people carry the responsibility of keeping the whole project alive, right? This is the quiet crisis of open source. Like, I'm just asking you all right now. We are all a part of Winter of Code. I have also been working with social Winter of Code and other things. And while those things come up, we have like GSSOC, GSOC, SSOC, SWOC. Now we have WOC, WC in many flavors. How many of you honestly say you will be staying in the same thing, you will be developing the project after this WOC is over, after 2 months or 3 months, right? So after everything is over, a lot of people will just go back to their own work, right? So that's exactly what should not happen. Winter of Code and Summer of Code exists because of this, not just to help you code, but to get you or just to get a stipend or a certificate, but to create the next generation of people who will take responsibility for the open source. That's you. Every mentor here today is not just reviewing their code, they are giving you their time, their attention, their emotional energy. They are also teaching you how to become someone a community can trust, right? So the project admins, whoever has got their projects on the list, they are blindly trusting whatever you're gonna give us, and then they are also trusting the mentors here, right? So it's actually they are making you become someone a community can trust. Then again, when it comes to the contribution, it is not just about writing the code, it's about writing clear documentation, helping someone who is stuck, reviewing in a kind manner. I mean, don't shout at people, and making the project less scary for the next person. Like, I have seen a lot of people who have been writing super amazing code that actually works well. It works really good with the computers, but not with the next person who's going to come and join us. The only thing is, the best contributors won't just fix the bugs, they will also make other people easy to contribute. So looking at everyone, some of you here will also become incredible engineers, right? Some of you will go on to work at amazing companies. How many of you want to go and work in fan companies? And there are like so many other companies other than fan companies, by the way. And but only a few of you will become someone who is even more important. You'll become maintainers, you'll become mentors, you'll also become the people that others depend on. So everyone is using Google Chrome as the browser, most of the people. Then I believe a lot of people are using Android phone, right? So Android is an open source. Google Chrome, technically Chromium, the project is open source. There are so many maintainers who always work without a penny they receive in their hand. So when it comes to country like India, we produce millions of developers. And the future of open source needs something more. It needs people who stay, people who care, people who protect the communities they are part of. So let's use this Winter of Code to build your skills. Make mistakes, it's totally fine. You're all beginners. I was a beginner at one point of time. I did not even know how GitHub works. So make mistakes, ask questions, ship the code, but use open source to build your character. Like how Chris said, your GitHub profile is your living resume. And because one day someone's first pull request will land in your inbox, and the future of this ecosystem depends on how you respond. Am I right? Welcome to Intro of Code 5.0.
Thank you so much, Praveen, for giving such a grand intro of Intro of Code and motivating the audience so much.
The main reason is Everyone at a point of time starts somewhere, and this is the point.
Exactly.
And how many of you here are like first timers? I'm actually looking at the chat now as well. Let me try to find the site. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Do
We
you,
do have some questions from the audience
awesome.
for you.
Sure.
Like someone is asking, like, do they have to be a GitHub master before contributions?
No, you just need to know the basics of GitHub and stuff like that. As simple as that. So that alone will help a lot. So you just need to start with something very simple, and then go ahead with it. Will help. Okay, I'm actually looking at the comments right now. Ooh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, sure.
many. Okay, so how many of you are beginners right now?
Me, of course.
You are a beginner, okay? Me beginner. We can see a lot of people who are actually beginner. Amazing. Okay, so basically you don't need to have a lot of knowledge about anything, because everyone here is gonna help you out whenever you're stuck. You have the community that helps you in case if you're stuck. You have the mentors who will be helping you in case you are stuck. I'm here, so anytime my inbox is open when you have any issues or something like that. So I'm always open. So go ahead with questions and stuff like that, and don't ever feel, should I ask this question or not. This is one of the main things that I have seen with Indians, especially students who are hesitating to ask questions. Please ask your questions. It's easier to ask questions and then do the right thing than keeping silent and doing something wrong, right? So you'll be learning a lot of things through this whole thing. What all those things that you would be learning? Number one, teamwork. So let's say, I know that a lot of people right now, even the organizers, are currently first year students and second year students and very juniors right now. So let's say if you're going to go to a company and then start working, would you be starting a new project, like file new and then start writing the code? No, it will be like huge number of code, huge number of piles of garbage code you should be working on, right? So how would you go ahead and start with it? And you are not going to work with a new team. Okay, there is your colleague here, Saksham, he's just joined with you, and there is Avni, he's just joined with you. No, it's going to be like, there is this Saksham guy, he has been working on this code base for 7 years. He knows everything in and out. Like when he is asleep or just waking up, he will say, okay, line number 75, there is column number 6, there is a bug, fix it. That's what you should be fixing. There will be people like that next to you. How would you cope up with them? So that's when winter of code or something like that helps you to manage those kind of things, right? So approaching code in a right way, that's actually a great question. Okay, so I don't understand. मुझे हिंदी नहीं आती. I don't. எனக்கு தமிழ் தெரியும், தெலுங்கு தெரியும், English தெரியும், but I don't understand Hindi. I saw one Hindi message, but I wanted to answer, but I couldn't answer it. But okay, I think I know what it is. Small drops that becomes bigger, something like that, right? Amazing.
Yes,
That's
yes.
hey, my Hindi is good. Okay, I did understand it. Okay, so Abhijit says, should I watch YouTube videos or AI? Can you suggest a good way? See, watching well-known YouTube videos, subscribe to my channel. Watching well-known YouTube videos are great. Look at the comments. See who is actually helping you in the best way, and then go ahead and start with that. That way you will be getting a nice way of, like, there are like hundreds of people gonna teach what is JavaScript, what is Node.js, what is React.js, etc. Find the right person. For me, it was Wesboss and Mosh. These two people, Wesboss is from Canada and Mosh is from, I think he's not an American guy. He is from somewhere else. So the way of the English that he speaks, because I'm from India, from Chennai, I don't understand English very fast. So the way this person speaks, it's bit easier for me to understand. So that way I chose these two people to be my gurus. So I keep looking at their videos and try to learn a lot. Small things are good for AI. Like for example, hey AI, just explain me this part of code. That way it will help you. Or if you go to any of the coding applications and let's say you know that this is the file that you need to edit, but you don't know what exactly you need to do. That time maybe you can use the AI a bit. Like for example, Claude or ChatGPT maybe, but Claude and ChatGPT Codex, they said there is a new thing that's going on right now. So check it out. But do not rely on it completely. That like don't offload your work completely to ChatGPT. Use it as a tool, but don't completely give it out for that. So that's one more thing that I would say with respect to watching YouTube videos and what is the best way to go forward. How many of you have heard of this site called roadmap.sh? So that's actually a great site to start with. What are all the things are there and how you want to go ahead with it. So that's one of the best ways to learn a complete language fully. And then Soptik Day asks, what happens if we are selected at multiple orgs? I think it's a question for Saksham.
That I will answer after your
Okay,
question.
super. And then how can we connect with mentors? Again, question for Saksham. I mean, I have worked with Social Mentor of Code. I'm not sure how it works here. So Saksham will answer these things. How to approach this and code in a right way? This is actually a great question. So you know what Git is, right? So Git and GitHub, what they do, it is actually a time machine. How many of you agree with Git and GitHub is a time machine? The reason why I'm saying is time machine is, let's say I wanted to do a work like at 9 p.m. in the night, and then I do something, I commit it, 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. Okay, usually I sleep at 3 a.m. So, but during that time, I'm like not completely in my brain, right? So 2:30 p.m. I make a big mistake. 3 o'clock I commit, 2:30 I commit, 2 o'clock I commit. I go sleep at 3:15. I wake up at like very early at let's say 11:30 a.m. early, right? Okay. in our words, it's early. Okay, so 11:30 a.m. I wake up, and then in a clear mind after having food, namakku sorda mukyam. We want only kana. So okay, after eating fully, and then if we look at the code in a fresh mind, we will be able to see that, oh great, we have messed up a few things. But if I had a time machine to go back in time to let's say 2:30 a.m. back in time, we can do that using Git and GitHub. So this is actually a good option of Git. Like you can go back in time. So for those people who are asking the same question related, not a lot of people will have the same question, right? How to approach a code. So go back in time, look at the Git history and see how it started. Every single step, how it started. Per file history, you can see, okay, it started with like a 0 content. Then it started one by one. Okay, this is what they did. All these things will be saved in the Git history, right? So it's almost like your Google Docs having the version thing, something like that. So that's something you can do that. So I hope that's a great answer, Abhijit, if it helps. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the next question. Are we gonna connect with mentor after okay, that's question for this person. How to connect with mentors? Okay, super. So yeah, pretty much these are a couple of things that I wanted to say. And Abhijit says my always complete tutorial, but I can code myself. A full application is okay. So yes, this is again it is called as a tutorial hell. So basically you see a particular tutorial, you see a particular YouTube video or something like that. Oh wow, this is so easy, let me do this. You will be able to do everything when you are hand holding, but when you want to do everything from scratch, it would be very much overwhelming for you. I understand this is the same problem with me as well. So start small, have a proper idea of like what you want to do. So what did I do back in then? So when I started my first big coding project, I did not go ahead and start something that is over ambitious. I saw what all things that are available outside. So how many of you say when compared to Facebook and Twitter, which application, rebuilding which application is bigger, complex, which is easier? Which is easier? Tell me that. Okay, a lot of people are putting some snow. Already it is so cold here. It's like -3 degrees Celsius. I'm trying to avoid everything. Okay, cool. But put some snow because it's social. It's winter of code. Okay, my channel name. This is me, folks. Praveen. It's Praveen Kumar Purushottaman or Praveen Science. You'll be able to easily find me. Okay, so everyone says Twitter is easy. Twitter may be easy. Yes, Twitter was easier. So I started rebuilding everything. See, I know full stack development. I learned PHP and MySQL. I know how backend works. I learned everything. Like I took some time. I had this For Dummies ebook, etc., etc. I started looking into all these things, and then I learned how databases work, how to connect with databases, how to make a complete flow, etc. So Twitter, yes, I have used Twitter. I have used Facebook. I know Facebook has got like loads and loads of things. What Twitter does, there is a small tweet box. You press that, people who follow, their tweet should be showing. So basically, it's a SQL code, right? Like select star from tweets in select star from followers where the person here is Praveen or something like that. Simple code, start with simple, build on top of it. Then you will understand, okay, I need to do a small filter on this. How do I do? Ask AI, ask Stack Overflow. I mean, Stack Overflow was my first go-to place, but now people are not using Stack Overflow. So look at Stack Overflow, how things are there. So Stack Overflow helps it. So these are a couple of things I would say. This is one of the ways you can start with, how you can go with building a complex application or complex program. So another question, amazing question. How much time should a beginner invest weekly for open source contributions? Can I say, can we do one small, like take it as a big to-do list, fix on a project. Let's say you have 5 high, medium, low kind of issues. Take a couple of things. If you are assigned with one medium and one easy, make sure you finish that easy on that same day. Medium, take 2 days. Hard, take 3 days. Something like that. I'm not saying exactly you should take these things, but something like that might help. Ultra rage moda, day Amit, I know who you are. So actually what the context here is, I was doing the leaderboard for Social Venture of Code, and I think Saksham and other people have seen that. Oh my God, today we launched.
Yes, yes.
Today we launched the leaderboard, and there were like hundreds and thousands of questions. Where is the leaderboard? I just put the message there. Go to this particular website, you have the leaderboard. Where is the leaderboard? The next messages. I don't know what to say. Is it Discord's problem or is it going to be my problem? I'm not sure. So that's the thing. And don't call me sir. Sir makes me feel like bad. Like it's a very bad way of like insulting. That's it. So just call me Praveen. Okay, because I believe you are equal to me, as simple as that. Can you suggest us some free database for making projects? There are like so many things. Have you heard of this freefor.dev? It's a site where you will get all the free items. You have databases, you have EC2 instances, you have hosting, static hosting, backend hosting, etc., etc. Okay, so Thor is giving all the right questions. What advice would you give to someone making their first ever open source PR? So first thing, read the complete application. Understand, if you are one of the creators of this application, how would you look at the application as? What is the future of this application, etc. So think about that. Start with that. And then see what is the gap that is there in this. And then work with how you can work on improving this application or something like that. These are a couple of things I will start with. Work on the README, work with the people here. So the people who have created it, the people who are mentoring it, they know much better than what you are trying to say. So have a discussion with them, understand the whole project, then add something on it. So that's something that I would say. This is one of the things. Contribution guidelines, README, look at where this project has got gaps and how you can fix the gaps. Be the solution for what this project needs. So something like that. And there are a couple of people who are answering Supabase and MongoDB free tier. Great suggestions. This is what the community needs to do. Gaurav and Durlabh Devangan, thank you so much for jumping in and answering the questions. This is amazing. Note them down. How can you connect? Okay, that's okay. How to connect mentors? I agree. Okay, what if we stuck in some library that the app is using when that at that time? What is the approach should be there? Okay, first thing, ask the mentors and ask other peers. Basically, the issues are for that. It's actually a discussion. You can actually put that problem here. So in the issue, you can write like, this is the library that I am trying to use, but I'm finding it a bit difficult. Is there anyone who can help? Start with a simple question. Definitely the mentors should jump in. That's how mentors are made to work in this particular instance. So mentors are available for the projects. Am I right, Saksham? That's how it works here, right? So in
Yes, exactly.
SWOC, we do that. So we have project admins, they own the repository, and then there are mentors who have the same rights as the project admins, but the only difference is they will be more
They are for your guidance.
Exactly. So ask these people like project admins and the mentors for questions. One question, if mentor takes time to reply, everyone is human. Definitely they will have their own personal thing. And a lot of people are putting their efforts in doing, like, for example, I'm leaving my work and doing this full time. And then Saksham, definitely he has got other work. Avni, he's also doing a lot of things. Behind the scenes, there are two amazing gems as well. Saksham, with your permission, can we bring
Sure,
one
sure.
on the screen if it is okay?
Absolutely, of course.
Okay, so let's bring this person. So where is our
At least first tell them they should
at
be
least one
ready.
person? Just say hi, buddy. Be ready. Okay, so we have hi. Just unmute yourself and talk. So she has been doing a lot of things in the back, behind the scenes as well, along with me, and there is Alka as well. So Adrisha is here, Adrisha, and we have Alka too. So both of them,
Just to give a quick intro, they
yeah, go
are
on.
Adrisha
Yes.
Biswas and Alka Verma from GDG IIIT core team, and they're also in the organizing team for Winter of Code 5.0.
Yeah, just go ahead and give you a quick intro so that I will come back later. Go on, it's your chance.
So I guess that's it.
All right. Okay. Fine.
I
So
guess we should move to the next part of the session.
yeah, super. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm also going to quickly look at other things as well. Hey, thanks a lot, man. Thor, it's like so amazing. Your every single comment means a lot. If you want to include new features to the project, yes, issues are a way to give a proposal to the project. So that's where you will say whether you want to work with the project or you want to tell the project admin like I have a proposal or I saw this problem, I want to fix it or something like that. So that's something that I would say. Yeah, I would say what else do you think, Abhijit? I love talking to people. I want people to treat me as how I treat others. So that's exactly what I mean, like the opposite thing. I want to be treated the way I treat others. So as simple as that. So and another thing is like I love teaching people. I learn a lot of things in these days. So literally, like just to work with this leaderboard thing and the certificate generation, PR validator, GitHub token validator, check out my LinkedIn. You will be getting a lot of cool 30 seconds videos. Now I'm just planning about that thing. So I was talking to both Saksham, Adrisha and Alka, along with there are like so many friends of mine who were telling me like, Praveen, you're like talking so much, stop, slow down, give like 30 seconds videos or something like that. People will love it.
Okay, Praveen, we'll do one thing. We'll share all your links with the audience over here in the
No,
Discord
I'm not.
channel.
I'm not actually publishing anything at this point of time. I'm just telling you. Okay, so I'm
Your personal portfolios, like your LinkedIn, your website,
yes.
those part.
So yeah, so definitely Saksham will be sharing everything. So if you just go to Google and search my name, this is my name, you will be able to get me, and that's me. So thanks a lot, Saksham, for giving me this amazing chance. I think I talked too much now.
Thank you so much, Praveen, for sharing so much insightful of yours.
Awesome. So I
It
think
totally had a lot of
I'll
knowledge.
be put down to the behind the scenes. So bye guys. I'm gonna work with the stream again. Ta-da!
Bye bye. So, hello chat, we are back again. Let's move forward. So, is this the end? Are we really up there toward the questions part? Are you all ready? Hello, 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 hello. Chat, just give a quick thumbs up or something like that. So, you can start dropping your questions in a live chat. As far as I know, we have discussed everything in detail in this session, but still you have any queries or questions, you can start putting in the current session. Where do we find the organizations and about what they want to make the proposals for? What question? And one thing I've been repeating since the day one of WOC, please go check the website, bro. Please. We have given immense amount of time in making those websites, and everything is mentioned over there. Each and every organization, and with each and every project, their tech stack, and what they actually want. Where will you get the demo proposal? You will get the proposal template tomorrow in the Discord channel. So make sure you are all joined in our Discord channel. Okay. So, Praveen, can you just put my screen shared on the stream, please?
It's already there, bro.
I can't see it on my live stream. That's why. It's coming. Okay, it's there. Nice, thanks.
It says questions, that's it.
Okay, thanks, thanks. Okay. More questions, guys. More questions. Very fun. Nice. I guess we have done with all the sessions. So quickly tell us, how was today's sessions? You guys like it? There are only 8 projects and therefore you don't have to check projects on Devfolio. Our projects are listed on our website, winteroffood.tech. We will drop the link on our Discord channel. Don't worry. So, how can you ask such question? Which is awesome. Okay, what happens when we get selected for multiple hours? As I mentioned earlier, you can submit 3 proposals, and if by chance you are selected for all the 3 organizations, you will be given priority for the first one only, and you will be automatically dropped out for the next 2 organizations. So this ensures that you are only selected for a single organization only. Great. Yes, of course, you all should start open source through Winter of Code only because it follows the exact pattern of GSOC. Open source contributors last like the dream of every open source contributor, Google Summer of Code. And this is for me, it's the best platform to learn the exact patterns and the different fields we want to explore regarding Google Summer of Code. Framing proposals will mentors not exactly in framing proposals, but they can help you in letting know like what they actually want to see in your proposals. They can give you feedbacks and insights, but will not check your proposal line by line. Yes, please go for the question, Rebase01. Oh yes, you can contribute to multiple projects for one organizations only if they allow. Should I make a comeback? Of course, you can. You should make a comeback. And this is the exact chance. And this is the exact sign to make a comeback. And one more cool thing I wanted to show you guys, like in our website. So please pay attention to the website. This is our website for Winter of Code. This is the section for projects. Here are all the projects listed, more than 40 projects. You can check it out. All the tech stack, name, organization hosting it. See the project. This is the link for the GitHub repo of this project. And when you click no more, This is the thing they want for this project, the content, and this is the details for the mentor. Like for this project GetX, the mentor is Ayush Chauhan. So from here, you all can get the connection to mentors. You will connect to the mentors. So I guess that clear all your doubts. One more thing, we have one more addition in this website, starting from this year only. The section where all the organizations are listed. What you all can do, you can click on any one organization, it redirects to a new page. And exactly like GSOC, it gives the in detail information regarding that organization, their mentors, and all the projects they have listed for Winter of Code with the problem statement, focus area, and student contribution guide. This page also contains all the important links you all will be needing throughout your journey, like the GitHub links, the communication channels, and all. We are actively updating these informations, like the communication channels for all the organizations are yet to be updated, and even for some organizations, their pages need to be updated. But most of the organizations, their information are up to date. You can start exploring that. No, 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 no. You can make three proposals only, one for each organizations. So that means three organization, three proposal at max, one for each. Where to submit the proposal? You have to submit the proposal on the full. And how to do that? We'll release one in detail video on how to submit your proposal for Winter of Code. We have to only contribute code, or we can contribute project to if organization is allowed. Basically, you have to contribute your coding part only, the bugs and fixes. But if they allow, you can contribute to projects as well. Like as far as I know, Open Printing is accepting some projects from their contributors. So you have to first ask their owners, maintainers, and mentors. One for each organization. One proposal for each organization. Yes, sort of you are building on top of it. That's how open source work, I guess. So I guess that answers all your queries, right? And please join the Discord channel if you face any difficulty, any queries in the future. You can anytime ping us on Discord. We do have dedicated channels and moderators over there to answer you all anytime. You have to make a proposal means a PPT of list application. Not a PPT, it's basically a doc. About the upcoming session on how to make proposal. Yes, we'll soon have a session on making a proposal, how to make a good proposal, which have a higher chances of selection. I guess that sums up. Also, in the photo section, you all can explore these resources we have given for you, how Winter of Code works, how to get started for Winter of Code, and my favorite part, which is the past organizations. This is like the evolution of Winter of Code. Starting from Winter of Code 1.0, the organizations we have had in the past, their participants, organizations, sponsors, CPs, everything. Starting from Winter of Code 1.2 till this session, Winter of Code 5.2. You'll get every information in this page. So I guess that's all from our side. Thank you, everyone. You have been amazing audience, and thank you for joining the session. And hence, yes, just one more thing. How to change the screen? Stop sharing. Share screen. So thank you guys. So now Winter of Code 5.2 has now officially started. Please do check our website and join our Discord server for any queries. So Happy coding. Best of luck for Winter of Code. Do get, I really want you all get selected for your proposals and start contributing to such great organizations and gain real skills. Very, very best of luck from my side and from the whole team of GDG IIIT Kalyani. Bye bye.